Sanbonani, Ralidumedi Sabahai. You guys are welcomed from wherever you guys might be watching this live. My name is Tebos Kosana. The name of this platform is Izwi Labansundu, the voice for Africans. This is a platform where we try and give a voice to the African message. To give a voice to the African message, as we know that the mainstream media does not afford a voice to the Africans, or does not afford the space for the African voices to talk about the African issues, to raise issues from the Afrocentric way of doing things. So this platform is intended for that, and this segment is called Lunchtime with Tebos Kosana being myself. So we are having these discussions every day from Monday until Friday, whenever the schedule allows, at 1 o'clock. So we implore you to join in and inform others to also join in. Please share it on the social media platforms so we can invite more people to join in. And today we are talking about, does South Africa need another political party? Does South Africa need another political party? Or can we say we have reached a stage whereby we've got enough political parties? Those who took part in the last year's national and provincial elections will remember that we had a very long ballot paper. It was very long, that was even had to be two-sided, the ballot paper, because of the number of political parties that we have as a country. So go to the comment section, guys. The comment section is open. Go to the comment section and tell me, or tell us, do you think that South Africa has enough political parties, or do you believe that we still need more political parties? I'm raising this as you know that of all the new political parties that has been spoken about right now, it is the Mayibuye. I'm talking about the ones that will be contesting elections for the first time in their lives. The one that we know about, and the one that has received, right, that has received attention. It is the Mayibuye that is led by Floyd Shivambu. It is Afrika Mayibuye. Of course, we have been told that it's a consultation process, but already there's a clear indication that at the end of that consultation, then this thing will be turned into a political party, and apparently they've already in the process of registering it as a political party. So guys, before we then go in deep with it, guys, just help me grow this platform, guys. There's various ways that can help me to create the platform. Firstly, it is by subscribing, guys. After subscribing, please click on the notification bell, so each time I publish a video, you will then receive a notification. And after receiving the notification, please make sure you do watch the videos. Another way, guys, it is by joining to become a member to the platform. There's different categories of membership, but the most basic one is 20 rands per month. Another way, it is by buying us the super thanks. There's also different categories. Another one, guys, is by ensuring that you don't skip the ads that play through the videos, because that's another way for the platform to earn the revenue. As I've already outlined the vision of this platform at the beginning of this live, that I'm trying to build a platform that will be able to give Africans a voice and a platform for their Afrocentric outlook on the world. So please help me to do that. So let's get to it, guys. So currently, right, according to the IEC, the IEC is the Independent Electoral Commission. So according to the Independent Electoral Commission, we currently have, right, as of March 2025, there are 609. You heard me well, ne? You heard me well, guys. There's no mistake here. We currently have 609 political parties in South Africa. 609 political parties. Now the question is, how many of them do you know of those parties? How many of them that you know of? I thought it was only around 200 to close to 300, but it's whopping 609 political parties, right? So now you ask yourself the question, but what purpose do they serve, right? What purpose do they serve, right? Because we can't be having such a high number of political parties, but you can't even distinguish as to what value are they adding. Because it's important that we must ask the question, but what value are these political parties adding? Okay? It is very important that we do that, guys. We ask the question. So I've said it's about 609 political parties that are registered, that have been confirmed by the IEC. Then 383 are registered on a national level. 303 are registered on the national level. 226 are registered either provincially or on a municipal level. So the IEC maintains a register of political parties and periodically updates it. It is important to note that the number can fluctuate as new parties register and others are deregistered. Okay? Because a week or two back ago, the IEC held a press briefing where they spoke about there's close to about 24 to 40 now that are also parties that are requesting to be registered, whereby the IEC even raised the concern to say it looks like the requirements for entry are too low and too simple for people to just register political parties. You see, so it is quite worrying. It is quite worrying because out of these 600 political parties, how many of them can we genuinely say are adding value to the political system? Some of them have vanished. We cannot even be able to tell as to what happened to them. There was once a political party that was established by NUMSA. I hope you guys know NUMSA. NUMSA is the National Union of Metal Workers of South Africa. They established a political party by the Socialist Revolutionary Workers Party. I was still part of NUMSA at the time, so I'm one of the founding members of that political party, the SRWP. But that party has vanished into thin air. Nobody knows as to what had happened to that political party. So, do you think maybe we should develop some sort of a legislation to make it difficult for people to just register political parties? Someone's one Manget to true bro, what a waste. Definitely, you're quite right, Manget. It's a total waste of paper and total waste of even money that could have been used. That could have been used on something else that would be profitable to the communities that these very same political parties claim to be representing. Now we've got this Mayibuye that is spearheaded, of course, by Floyd Shivambu. And of course, not Floyd Shivambu. Floyd Shivambu is a novice. It's not a novice, right? Floyd Shivambu is a well-known figure within the political circles in South Africa. As you know, that we know him from the days of the ANC Youth League as its spokesperson. Then they established the EFF. He was then elected the EFF's deputy president. He served as the EFF's deputy president for 2 terms, which was 10 years. Then he later on, of course, we know that last year he left the EFF to join the Mkhonto Wesizwe Party. He was appointed the Mkhonto Wesizwe Party's national organizer subsequently was appointed Mkhonto Party Secretary General. Then he was removed, then he left the party, started this process, then was expelled. So now he's busy at Mayibuye and all of that. So I'm saying, is there a space for this initiative such as Mayibuye that is led by Floyd Shivambu? What value are they going to bring? What is it that is different about them that they are bringing that these 600 and something political parties do not have? Because we must ask that question to say, what is it that they are coming with that the current 600 political parties do not have? As I drink my water. So it's important because you look at this, guys. With us having 600 political parties and then 300 registered at the national level, meaning these are the parties that get to contest elections at the national level and all of that. But then you still had a very low turnout. You still had a very low turnout in terms of the voters that came out. Does that not signal to us that actually these political parties cannot even inspire and motivate people to leave their houses and come and vote on the election day? Then if they are unable to do that, then we then have to ask the question that, what value are you bringing? Some of them, it's even difficult to tell that ideologically. You ask them the question, ideologically, how do you differ from the next party? How do you differ from the next party? Because when you look at the 2024 elections, because the 29th of May 2024 elections are the last elections we've had as a country. So in 2024, South African general elections, approximately 16.2 million people cast their ballots. Okay, 16.2 million people cast their ballots. This figure represents a voter turnout of 58.64% of the 27.78 million registered. Meaning, these political parties, 600 or 300 of them, were only able to get about 16.2 million out of the 27.78 registered to come out. Meaning, of the people that registered to vote, about 11 million of them did not partake. They did not partake in the elections, right? What does that tell you? That tells that people do not see any value in these political parties. And must also understand that, yes, there's 27.78 million registered, but a number of adults who qualify, meaning people who are above 18 who can partake in the elections, it's higher than this 27. So if you take that figure to that, then you realize that this 10 out of 58.6, it even drops below that. Any logical and rationally thinking person would think that with us having such a high number of political parties, then that would mean that more and more people will come out. But people cannot be able to distinguish. The reason that people don't even come out, one of the reasons that people cannot even distinguish between these political parties in terms of what is it that they represent? What do they stand for? How do they differ from the next party ideologically? Because, you can tell. The like of Bosa, Action SA, Rise Mzansi, you can mention quite a number of them. There's absolutely no ideological differences. You see? So meaning you get a situation whereby you've got political parties, 20 to 50 of them, who at the ideological level stand for the same thing. But because of their egos, but something that's bigger than the egos, but because these political parties, to the politicians and the people who founded these political parties are nothing but accumulation vehicles. What do I mean by saying these political parties are nothing but accumulation vehicles? This is what I mean. To them, these political parties presents an opportunity to be able to accumulate income and wealth, because by them having founded these political parties, then they get to contest the elections. Firstly, they receive the funding. It's even funny when you realize that most of them are even funded by the very same grouping of people. You'd find that your IFP, BOSA, Rise Mzansi are funded by the very same grouping of people in terms of the money, you see. So these parties are a career. They provide career opportunities to their funders, to their founders and their leaders. Because starting at the local level, through contesting the local government elections, these leaders put themselves in a good position to become councillors. To become councillors either as ward councillors or PR councillors. Okay? That on its own, it means what? It means an income. It means an income. Still within the local government elections. Once they are within the council, then they stand a better chance of being MMCs, right? MMCs are what you call the members of mayoral committees. Then they stand a chance to be part of the, either as the executive mayors or the speaker of the council or the chief whip of the council. Then you see what it does to them. Then it means because there's this high unemployment, there's all of that, then having a political party, meaning establishing a political party, it is no longer about pursuing the struggle for the betterment of the people's lives on the ground, but it is about economic opportunities that you yourself as a leader of that political party and those who are closer to you get to benefit out of securing a particular number of votes. You then go at the provincial level, it's the same thing. You get to the provincial legislature, become an MPL, member of provincial legislature, there's a salary, there are packs involved there. Can either then also be the MEC, member of the executive council, premier, speaker, same thing at the national level. Get to be at the National Assembly, there are packs involved and all of that. So meaning the reason people each and every, I don't even want to say every year, there's now even a case of almost each and every day people are founding political parties. Because you must understand that when AIC said the 600 here, you must not forget that there's also those ones who have tried to register but could not meet the criteria, the minimum requirements for them to be registered and accepted into the system. So it means almost each and every day you've got people who are registering political parties, founding political parties because of the economic motivation, because of the perks that are attached to leading a political party. That of course means deployments into all these government structures. Now we must ask a pertinent question. That in a situation whereby the motivation it is about accumulating wealth or providing economic opportunities for the leaders, their friends, their families, then what happens to the masses? What happens to the masses who vote for these political parties on the basis of what these political parties present to them? Because the political parties, they develop what we call the election manifestos. These manifestos make all manner of promises. They make all manner of promises so as to capture the votes of the masses. But then you realize that they actually do not mean, they do not mean the things that they articulate on those manifestos. It means the people are being used as the tools to enrich a few people. Because yes, there's high unemployment. So these people, they realize that they cannot be able to establish thriving businesses. So if you know that you cannot be able to establish a thriving business, whereby you yourself, your families, and those who are closer to you can then be able to accumulate the wealth, then the easiest way is to do what? Is to go the political route. Because as I've already explained, the political route has quite a number of benefits. Can benefit from the funders, those who are going to fund you, and then also from the people who are going to vote for you. Because once you get into those legislatures and government positions, then it means you get to secure the future, your future and that of your family members. But then what happens to the needs of the people on the ground? This then explains why most people, are now staying away from voting. And this has to be understood that it will be wrong and misleading for anyone to want to characterize the people who have chosen not to partake anymore in the electoral processes and characterize them as ignorant and all of that. The fact that these people are now staying away from the electoral processes, that on its own has to be seen as them giving a vote of no confidence to the political system itself. Because they will tell you, bluntly so, that why should we partake on a system that clearly does not benefit us? Why should we be partaking on a system that benefits the select few at the expense of the majority? You see? So it has to be understood in that context that people have given up, given up not just on political parties themselves, but even on a political system as a whole. Therefore, it means this becomes a vote of no confidence, a vote of no confidence to the democratic project itself. Because for the democratic project to have legitimacy, it has to have majority of people who are eligible partaking in it doing so. So if you are going to have a situation whereby 27 million people registered to vote and only 16 million turn out, and now can even stretch it and expand even to the fact that out of that 27 million that registered, there's still adults. You've got adults because our population is 64 million. So the adults who are eligible to vote in this country are way more than 27 million. This is where then we begin to realize that actually this very same democratic project is starting to have the crisis of legitimacy itself. So having such a number of political parties has proven to be not helpful, because now political parties are seen as a hustle, just a hustle that we can hustle people for votes. Then at least you get to accumulate for yourself and your family. This is a real sentiment that is on the ground, and there's concrete evidence of what I'm saying. Because some of these political parties are registered today, then tomorrow they vanish. Then that threatens the credibility and the legitimacy of the democratic project itself. That's my take, guys. I know you guys might have a different view from mine. So as I've already said, guys, on this platform, we encourage the engagements, guys. Then do go to the comment section, guys, and tell me your own views, your own take on the issue. That how do you feel about this, us having so many political parties and then having them being registered almost every day? There's a new political party that gets to be established, and then it is registered. Then the following day, that political party is no longer there, and all of that. That makes a mockery. My own view is that makes the mockery of the whole process. The whole process, the whole political system becomes a joke. It becomes very difficult to take it seriously when such things are allowed to continue unabated. You see. So thank you, guys. I just want to appreciate you guys for joining. So tomorrow, guys, we're talking about the war between black men and black women. Tomorrow it's Wednesday. Our topic, our discussion, we are talking about the war between black men and black women. What causes this war? What informs this war? And who is benefiting? Who is benefiting when black men and black women are at each other's throats? Who gets to benefit out of that war? It's a very sensitive topic, but it's a topic that we need to have as Africans. Thank you very much, Africans. Ngiyabonga ngazakwethu for joining me in. Please, guys, remember to subscribe. Remember to like, share, comment, and join to become a member to the platform. Thank you very much, guys. Siyabonga ma-Afrika. Kamako.